job and help manage a lot of things that way as well. That's what I do. Cobb County is one of the best, if not the best counties to live in the state of Georgia. Lowest taxes, lowest water rates, fewest number of employees, smallest budget, most educated workforce, the best school system, KSU, Life University, the world's largest chiropractic school, Southern Polytechnic, Ford, what's the other one? Chattahoochee Technical College, Marietta City School System, the best park systems, national park systems. We have Kennesaw Mountain. We have the best road network. And we do things the Cobb way. The Cobb way is when we get together, we have an issue, we have a problem, we get together, talk about it, develop collectively a vision and a solution, and we implement it calmly and peacefully and cost effectively. And that's how we do things here in Cobb. That's why I believe it's the best. 6 wonderful cities that give you the little community, sense of community. If you go to the Marietta Square or the Smyrna Square or Austell, you get a small little sense of place. The Cumberland area has a sense of place. The town center area has a sense of place. Ackworth, with its restaurants and its lake, a sense of place. A wonderful place to build a business, grow a family, get educated, and have fun every night playing with your family. What more could you want? Other than a highway that goes right through the middle and splits it all up. But I have to deal with that. But that's okay, that brings commerce to us. So I'm gonna stop there and say, what do you think? What are your questions? Pardon me?
Go Cobb.
There you go. Sign her up. What do you think? Questions? Concerns? Yes, ma'am.
Oh, this is a personal question. I can't remember, you grew up here in Cobb County?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I was born on a road trip to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My mom and dad were going to Bible college, and they had been visiting his mom, and we're heading up back to Grace Bible College where they went to school for some event, and I was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So then after that happened, I went back down. I grew up in a town that is lost its identity. When I first moved into it, it was called Wood Hill. While I was there, it changed to Parkway South. It is now called University Park. We really don't know who we want to be. Ironically though, talk about a small world, you guys will find this as you get older. I've run, in the last 6 months, I've run into 3 people who have grown up in University Park that are in the Atlanta area now. One's a good friend of mine down at ARC. So I went to high school, Creek-Mooney High School, blue and gold. Home of the Warriors, most successful losing football organization in all of South Illinois. I was in the band, Better was in the band, I played trumpet, was in the symphonic, the orchestra, marching, jazz, quartet, everything. I just loved the trumpet, wanted to go to school, study music, but didn't do it. A friend of mine that I grew up in high school was going back to New York to live with his mom and his brother and his sister, and I said, you know, it sounds exciting. In the Midwest, and the cornfields are not for me, I'm coming with you, so I went with him. So 2 weeks after graduating high school, I went to New York. A week later, I got a job in the mailroom at the advertising agency. Now, you guys got all your devices. When I was 18, and it was cold, and I had to walk, 3 miles to school, every hour I had a little cart, and I'd do this. I'd pick up your mail, put it in my cart, take the mail, put it here, and I'd go over here, pick up this one, and then go over here, and then I'd come back to my little mailroom, and I'd that's for Bob, I'd sort it through there, sort it in there, and an hour later I'd take all the mail, put it down, I'd come around and say, here's your mail. That's what I did when I was 18 in 1975. For an advertising agency, 300 people in New York City at 800 3rd Avenue between 49th and 50th. Coming from dirt and cornfields to the city of Manhattan was extraordinary. Extraordinary. But I went from mailroom to print production, print traffic, account coordinators, assistant account executives, account supervisor, finally an officer in 10 years. And towards the last tail end of it, they said, you're getting the advertising background, the marketing education, you're getting that every day here working. What you need to do is finishing school. Like how to write. So they sent me to, this is back when companies were flush, they sent me to Fordham University to have a returning adults program. And basically what you do is you pick a, what do you call it, major? You take all the classes, and then when you get done with all the, if you successfully get down through with all the required classes, what they do for electives is this. You get assigned a professor. For the semester, you write a paper on your life experiences. Then that's reviewed by a panel of professors and people that can award up to 100% of your electives. Now, it's not the same kind of degree as it was if you were to take those electives, but it's enough for a returning adult to feel like they've done. Well, I got transferred to Atlanta 2 weeks into that last semester. So I worked my butt off to get all my required courses done, was going into my life experience class, and got transferred to Atlanta. Spent about 14 months down here, and got a phone call from New York saying, those people coming around are not new prospects. Those people coming around are looking to sublease your space because we're closing the place down. Went back to New York, helped a buddy start a new agency up there. While I was down here, I fell in love. I wanted to bring her up to New York. She's, no way, she was from Idaho, wasn't gonna happen. She was here, her kids were here. I came back down and got married down here 23 years ago. She's not here, so I can tell you that with some level of confidence. Got married, started working, took a new job. I was hired as Director of Account Services for an ad agency. Came down between Christmas and New Year's, walked into the agency January 2nd, to be informed that the agency had been sold over the Christmas holiday and I no longer had a job. So I worked in advertising agencies. Advertising agencies in Atlanta are not anything near what they are in New York. Nowhere near some of the businesses, but that's what my background is. 3 years ago, so 12 years ago, somebody was trying to build a subdivision near me that I didn't like. I got involved. Next thing I know, I'm leading a homeowners organization. Next thing I know, I was running a community organization. Next thing I know, I'm being asked to run for district commissioner because the district commissioner is running for chairman, because the chairman's running for governor. I said no. Don't want anything to do with being in politics. Hate it. I don't like this stuff. I did it because I wanted to protect my home values and my community. About 4 months later, they came back and said, you don't have a choice. We need you. We don't have anybody else. I said, well, that's not going to happen. But please, what would it take? Okay, don't ever answer the question, what would it take? Okay? Because I'll tell you what it take. It would take my wife saying yes. Now, I know she said no already. It would take my boss saying, yes, go ahead. It's going to take time away from you from the company, but I think that's good for you to do. I knew that wasn't going to happen. And I said, I'm not going to spend a dime on this. The money's going to have to be raised by the community, the business community. There's no way I'm doing it unless, I'm not spending my money. And if you don't spend money, you don't win. I was confident. I said, good, we'll get those. Let's find out. So I figured, well, the first objection is my boss. Surely, if you're a boss and you've employed somebody, you want 150% out of that person 100% of the time. Certainly, he's going to tell me, no, I don't think you can do it unless you want to take a pay cut. Well, I'm not going to take a pay cut. He said, sure, do it. My dad was one of those commissioners when I was growing up. So as I'm on my way home, the phone starts ringing. Tim, this is Bob from General Parts. We're gonna make sure we raise enough money to get going. Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm from Riverside Bank. Yeah, we're gonna raise the money. We're gonna make sure you have whatever it takes. We got a commitment. But money. Yeah, okay, yeah. So all of a sudden the phone calls come in from the business community. They're gonna give me the money I need to run. But my wife. So she's from Idaho. I told you that, guys. We had a family reunion. Fly to Salt Lake City. You can't get to Idaho from here. Fly to Salt Lake City, drive up to Twin Falls, 3 hours at the time. We talked about it there and back. She goes, I think God's leading you. Uh-oh. So we went back and said yes, and that was 10 years ago. And I was a district commissioner for 4 years, ran for re-election, won again. Sam Owens, who was the chairman of Cobb County, resigned to run for Attorney General, which he won. I resigned my seat in 2010 to run for chairmanship. I went from district to chairman, and I got elected in a special election 18 months ago. I'm up for re-election this year, July 30, Tim Lee, 31st, if you go to election. Up for re-election this year to do a 4-year term. So, typical politician, you ask a simple question, you got a lot more than you wanted, right?